May of 2000 we met. We actually, I was just kind of, like I said, trying to explore life and just do things my way. I was living on my own for the first time. With living with my mom and being in that strict household, those were the years where I kind of just wanted to do what I wanted to do. Was in my 20s. I was about 22 and Billy was about 21. I didn't know anything about nightclubs. I actually got invited with a friend to come to a nightclub in Toledo. And this first time I seen Billy, we didn't talk. It was a busy nightclub, techno club. Then the second week, it was kind of funny how it happened, because in the second week, when I went back to that exact same nightclub, not knowing that I was going to run into him again, I seen him and he approached me. And from that moment forward, we were just like inseparable. We talked every day on the phone. I was living in Adrian, he was living in Ohio. And we were just like in love and just, you know, wanted to just have fun, and which is what we basically did. We actually got mixed up in the party scene. We kind of knew people that at the time ecstasy was like a big thing. You know, we were both excited, you know, everything was fresh and new, and we figured, you know what, what's gonna hurt us trying these things.
We had our firstborn son, and my wife made it a decision right then and there that she was gonna stop the partying, no more drugs, you know, stay-at-home mom. At the time, I had been using drugs for so long. I was addicted at the time, and I got to a point where, with our child being born, I continued to use the drugs and have the habit that I had, and it was an expensive habit. A few $100s a day I was using. Got to the point where one time we needed some staples in the home, milk and some other things, and you know, I didn't have any money in my pocket to get it, but I had a pack of cigarettes and I had some drugs, and I couldn't even buy my family and my kids what they needed, but I had what I needed, what I wanted. And it was right then and there at that time that I realized that this is not the way I should be living, and that there's got to be a better way. I began to study the Word of God. I began reading, and I knew that the Lord had put that desire in my heart to want to learn and to know more about Him. And I began to take the Lord for His Word and what His Word said and the promises of what God had said.
After that, everything just started taking a turn for the best. We actually started tithing. That was one of the first things that we knew was right to do. We ended up started tithing, and in Billy's plan of action, that he made goals to the Lord and wrote it down. After we started tithing, it just seemed like everything just started falling into place, because he wanted his own business. That was like one of the main things that he wanted out of his goals. So with that being said, we ended up, it just seemed like it was just awesome, because every Friday when he'd get paid, or whenever it was able, when God blessed us, he'd come home with a tool or a machine, and he's like, "Look, honey, I'm almost there. We almost got it," you know. And it was just so awesome, because we knew that his plan was coming to pass, and that we knew that God would never leave us, and we knew that He would give us the desires of our hearts.
Yeah.
And we knew that
it got to the point where, you know, I had all the equipment and the tools and things that were needed, but all I needed was just a van. I needed a vehicle to get to and from the jobs. I had all the tools, but I needed a vehicle to put the tools in to get to the jobs. And I got the vehicle, and the Lord blessed me with that and set me up with the perfect person that would allow me to give a good down payment on the vehicle, but allow me to take the vehicle and work and then pay him as needed to get the vehicle paid off. And before you knew it, it was like a dream come true. And that was the greatest thing, and God revealing Himself to me in an awesome, most powerful way, that I was glad that everywhere that I went and everything that I did, and anybody who would ask what and how I became and what I did and how I do it, I was glad to give God all the praise for it, because without His help, I would have never been able to do it. We're the Moors, and our story is His story.